Time to buckle up. Brace, brace, brace. Evening, Tony. How are you?
Evening.
It's getting cool tonight after I planted all those seeds. It's not going to last for long. Spring is in the air. Beautiful time of the year. Good evening, Mel. You're here for a minute. Hello. Okay. Hello. Goodbye. Nice to see you. When are we catching up? Busy time. Must be evening meal time. One of our sons is making a vegetable lasagna with lots of fancy stuff. Now, the strange thing is, this son doesn't cook. So he hasn't asked anything. He did borrow my big lasagna stoneware. And he's got all the instructions apparently. So I asked our daughter-in-law to send a photo, and we haven't seen one yet. I'm a little concerned. Vegetable lasagna can turn out very soggy if you don't do it right. But at least he's having a crack, which is half the deal. Tony, good evening. Seatbelts on, helmets, masks, and be in the brace position. Brace, brace, brace. Landing gear. Mr. Siege, you know that fancy pot? You mean the French blue one? Is that the one you're talking about? I think it's the one you're talking about. Can you scratch it, or is it good to cook with? Yeah, it's basically non-stick. You do like when you're browning meat and it gets a bit of, meat brownings on the bottom, so as soon as you just scrape it, it goes away. It's easy to clean. It's heavy. It's really heavy. Johnny P, the legend of the fall. Mel, is that you? Hello? It's a good pot. It's a real good one. I've got another one. It's a cheaper one. It's red, and it's still got the enamel coated. So good to cook with. I made a vegetable soup yesterday, and the family came round and we did all the seed planting. I made garlic bread. Jono's here. Mel's here. Hammers is now here.
Yeah.
Good evening to all of you. It's your captain speaking. Please wear your seatbelt. The no smoking sign is now on. In fact, if you've got cigarettes on board the plane, we are going to throw you out. But you've noticed that in most planes they still have the no smoking sign, which I find quite funny. I can remember when you could fly on a plane and have a cigarette and put the cigarette in the ashtray that was embedded in the arm. Quite extraordinary, really. Mrs. Seeds, she said she will send dinners. Hello, Nicoleska. I did find, just by chance, looking at, home delivery food, Nicole, a very fancy Korean restaurant in Perth. I haven't really looked into it, but it's got numerous amounts of dishes. And yes, kimchi is on the menu. So we got the front yard excavated today to a level so we can start the paving in a few days. I remember riding Greyhound smoking cigarettes. Oh, right. Yeah, the cigarette ashtrays on a plane, you sort of pull the lid back, put your cigarette out and push the flap back down. But, yeah, but they still have no smoking signs. If you look up, it goes, bing, please fasten your seatbelt. Please notice the no smoking sign. If you're caught smoking in the toilet, we will eject you from 36,000 feet. Enjoy your flight.
What was this, Miles? Can you scratch it? Talking about your fancy pot, did you answer it?
Yeah, no, it doesn't really scratch.
It doesn't.
Because it's an enamel. No, not really.
But
It's
that's what you
It's
want.
cast iron with an enamel coating.
But it's what your pots need, is that infused of cooking in it for years.
You got some, well, I don't like floating floorboards, that's just me, because they bounce and move everywhere. But that's cheap, I'll tell you that, that is cheap. But you know you have to have an underlay with them, Mel. You do realise, Mel?
Floating floorboards are fine. We had them in the Mandra house.
Yeah, but they move.
Yeah, but I
So
broke.
they've got I think it's only like 3 or 4 mil.
Yeah, but I broke less
of a,
stuff when
underlay.
I dropped it on that floor.
It broke.
No, it didn't. I broke
No,
less
because
stuff.
it bounced.
Yeah.
No cigarette for 8 months. Oh, you got that in the 50 as well. So where's that going? Is that going in rooms or just a room? Well, if it's a floating floorboard system, it probably went through the dining, the kitchen, and the lounge of a previous house. I think we had Mexican for dinner.
Nicole, keep up with the times. Where's a picture of your dinner?
Yes. And the patio depth, yeah. They don't like water, so make sure that you seal well.
Yeah, that's one thing, Mel, I've got to say. Those floating floorboards, if you don't seal them properly. I said, Nicole, where's a picture of your dinner?
Well, to be fair, it's only like 1 o'clock in the afternoon there, or lunchtime. So it won't be dinner, it'll be lunch.
Yes, Jono, we know.
I'm imagining Nicoleska's got a large sausage sitting on the bench.
Oh, okay, Nicole. Last night's dinner then.
We try and float them on Mr. Jono. But you don't have a shower. You must be the dirtiest YouTube person around,
No,
Tony,
it's
because
nice.
every time you come on, you must, I don't know, swim in the mud or something. Every time we come on, then you go and have a shower.
He waits for
Or is there some other reason you have a shower when Mel and Nicoleska go? You can talk to us, we're your friends. It's okay. Tony, you're wearing the budgie smugglers?
Tony, take us with you.
I can just see Tony in the shower. This would be his song. I had the time of my life, and I owe it all to you. He'd be floating in the air.
No, didn't see.
Needs to wash his bits.
Didn't see that, Hammers.
Did you see Vinny G most recent Bergs video?
What did he do?
I don't watch anyone's channel that has a dollar sign. Vinny has one, and that's his prerogative. But I imagine it's something Bergs has done. Let me get it that way. Bergs is a little bit of, well, let's be honest, he's an alcoholic, aggressive. Yeah, lots of things.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for Vinny or for Bergs? I'll have to go watch
if it's
it
a
now.
Vinny G video, it'd be embarrassing for Bergs. That's my deduction, Holmes. What do you think? Yes, Watson? I think you've got it.
It's embarrassing for Bergs. Okay. Oh, I did come across that. I know what you're talking about. Yes. Yes. His mum or something, is it? Hammers?
I think it's very sad.
Yeah,
I mean, you think about, now, off memory, his father is 90 or something and his mother's 80. and he lives at home and plays a very loud guitar till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, I don't know what the word inconsiderate is in Washington, but I imagine that would be one of them in the state of Washington, that playing very loud musical instruments for very old people is not a good thing. Then again, they're our neighbours.
Yeah, it's the second time his mum's had a go at him or something, isn't it? When he's been online. I mean, people can only take so much, I suppose, if they're listening to
He
his
was going to
crap.
cry because she turned off the Wi-Fi. Right, did she make him stand in the corner for 20 minutes? Yeah, it's just crazy. Look, I mean, some of you may not believe me, but working in a prison system and the psychology department, there was D-Wing, which was really catered for vulnerable and crazy fuckers, literally. And all these characters you see on YouTube are the people that I've seen behind bars. I kid you not.
Ooh, that stars for Nicolaska.
You going to band camp, Nicolaska? One time at band camp?
Oh, you're going to enjoy it. Yeah, but see, we don't really know what his home life's
I'm
like.
with you, Johnny.
We don't really know. I mean, you see Bergs online, yeah, I know, but you don't know what else is behind the scenes, what he says and does at home with his parents. That
I'll
can
give
be
you-
a worry.
Some of them are just sad stories, Mel, but I'll give you an idea. My analysis, very quickly, it's simple, all of you would know. He's an alcoholic. There's no question about that. He stays up until probably the early hours of each morning. He would sleep until maybe 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but there are quite a few YouTubers do this, i.e. propensity to obese people living in vans. Sleep till 1 or 2 in the afternoon, get up, maybe have a shower, maybe not, eat, and then probably commence drinking around about 4 or 5. Why do I say that? Well, that's a classic alcoholic. Sometimes they don't even sleep.
Yeah, it's actually interesting, Alice.
It's a lot of basic intuition that you all have, that you can assess people. And when I do meet people, Mel can attest to this, I listen first and then I'll join in the conversation. A couple of hours later after we've met Mel, she just kept talking.
Oh, this.
I'm just
crap.
kidding, but that's the art of finding out the depth of a perception of a person on first meeting them. And Mel is a very lovely lady, by the way. But the truth is, you all have the ability to discern, to sit back, and this is sometimes the problem people don't do. They'll jump in straight away and think, oh, I've got a friend. It doesn't work that way in reality.
So he's, apart from his Bergs' parents getting numerous phone calls over the years, somebody recently sent them a letter as well, Mel? Is that what you're saying?
Mel, there's one word that you may have to look up, but I'm sure you know it. Vivacious. In character. You're bubbly. You're very bubbly. And it's fun to be with. So no, you're not crazy. If it's crazy, it's a good crazy. There you go. But some of the fundamental things is it does take time. Not a long time, but it does take time to get, when you meet a person, it's like a book. You can open the first page and think, oh, this looks interesting. Then after about 15 pages, you go, this is a bit worrying. Then after about halfway through the book, you say, right, okay. That's how you can really sit back and listen and learn off people. There are some classic crazies on YouTube, without question. And it's sad. First of all, category 1, sad. But that sad includes narcissistic, evil, nasty, well, let's be honest, pricks. And that's who they are in reality. You'll often hear people say, oh no, I've known this guy for a while. He's not really what he is like on YouTube in real life. Yes, he is. Or yes, she is. That's how it is. When you have enough time and see the same repetitive... the thing about repetition is that And this is like a dog's, like Pavlov's theory. If you feed a dog to do a trick, it generally does it over and over and over again. So you start to understand that a lot of people on YouTube with certain channels are they just keep repeating over something that worked before. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, and this is eventually, can take years, people go, nah, he's a dickhead. That's true. You can hammers, but you would have in your life thought something. Oh, this person's crazy, and then after a period of time, you realise he's actually funny. He's not crazy, or she's funny or not crazy. There are funny crazy, and there are just really crazy. I'd rather sunset myself, Jono. Sunset yourself? What the hell is that? What's been going on, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? This woman has been accused of sunsetting herself. Are we speaking about the wig? Wanderer, potcher, law, repetitive, bullcrap. Well, no. See, people's appearances mean nothing to me. You know that, Nicole. I don't give a damn. It's their actions. And it takes time. But you all know these people. And if I'd have walked you through the D-Wing on a very quiet summer's evening, and I just said, just walk with me, and I'll lift up the thing you can see, you'd have met people like, it's a one for the money too. I'm Elvis Presley, and I don't eat this polony. I want some real steak and donuts. Nah, it's just mashed potato and chops, mate. Oh, okay. Or you got people who are literally climbing up the wall, and there's something in the corner. I can see it. It's there. Can't you see it, officer? Look at it. It's black, and it's got 3 legs and 5 eyes, and you can't see it. Are you crazy? No, I can't see it, Joe. But here's your dinner.
Oh, John, my God. Put tickets on yourself, mate. Now, you girls don't know what yous have missed by not meeting JP in person.
He's a bit strange, JP. When I first met him, he wore a T-shirt with fake breasts and a codpiece in his jeans. Now, I don't know whether he was out to impress or pick up, but either way, he's a nice guy. I haven't blocked anyone's account under the name. And Baby Elvis, welcome. I remember you at the beginning of the wars, Baby Elvis. A long, long time ago, far, far away. Cod piece, C-O-D. Well, she's a pretty big bloke, Nicolescu. He's a 6-footer.
Somebody asked that once before, Baby Elvis. So we have no idea. I've checked his computer, can't find nothing. He's got one person blocked, and that's the man in the can.
Actually, if anyone came in the room who were an e-bagger, I'd block them. For their own benefit.
Who's
Therapy,
Spin
you
Reel?
understand. You have my Spin Reel account.
I've never heard of it.
Never heard of Spin Reel. Anyway, Baby Elvis, lay down on the couch, take your shoes off, relax. What is your problem? What's concerning you today? Yeah, that cod pieces always remind me of Monty Python and Blackadder. Captain Dave. Oh, I don't know. Not blocked. Anyway, see, regardless, you come here to enjoy the room, sit back and relax, talk amongst your friends. We're not here for controversy or fighting. As soon as someone does it, I give them the flick. You know, adventure unknown. Okay.
Yes.
Well, the point being
No,
is
the
you're here
accounts.
for fun, that's all.
Yeah, well, can't find them.
Hello, Danny G.
I said hello to her before.
Oh, did you? Sorry, Danny, I missed you. Apologies. No, it doesn't smell like cod.
Focused.
Burgers. Actually, a codpiece is indeed what was used to actually impress women in the 16th and 17th century. Particularly if you had a small willy, they'd sort of put a big codpiece on your suit, your tunic, you know, the ones that tied under your knees and fluffy, frilly collars and things like that. I'm a man, can't you tell? Yeah. Actually, the men in the 15th, 16th and 17th century took ages to dress compared to women.
Oh yeah, clothes they all used to wear.
Imagine the disappointment in removing the codpiece, only to find a little winkle. Hello, little winkle. Cute little winkle. Mind you, you can do a lot with 2 inches. Imagine 2 inches of pork crackle.
Oh, Mel.
Pot white sauce, oh dear. Life is to be enjoyed, not existing, not surviving, not persisting with something. You know the old story about when you make mistakes in life? It's okay. It's when you keep repeating the same mistake. That's when you have a problem. Then you have issues. It boils down to that. It's not, you know the old saying, it's not me, it's you. It's true. If you can't move forward, you're just basically treading water.
Better give Tony stars and welcome him back. He's all clean. That was a quick shower, Tony.
Mate, you must have just turned the sprinkler on.
Ready for the show for baby cat, is that Tony?
White sauce, yeah, not really. My mum used to have smoked cod, and I'm sure a lot of you would remember your parents or grandparents heating it up in milk. Do you remember that? I bet Nicoleska knows that. That's quite common in Manchester. Smoked cod heated up in milk. When my mum was cooking, I thought, what died? She'd say, try this, son. I go, no.
Where our state is, baby Elvis, our state is COVID free. Am I correct?
We haven't had a community transmission for 150 days.
2 other states in Australia away from us, our borders are closed. Yes, they've got problems.
It was quite a common meal because cod was quite cheap in the old days, Nicoleska, until everyone else started fishing for the cod off the North Sea. And I imagine if you went to go buy a piece of cod now, it costs you a fortune. Town? There's 3 million people in my town. Perth.
We're fine.
The whole state. My state would cover, and I know you probably wouldn't believe this, but it's true, a good, nearly the half size of the US. To give you an idea how big it is, at the moment up north they're having temperatures of 45 degrees, and down south they're having temperatures of 0. 0, no COVID. We do have people coming back, Australians, that go straight. This is how it works in my state. They get escorted by the military to a hotel individually. They're quarantined in a room which they cannot leave. And if they even think about playing up, we put an ankle bracelet on them.
And actually, I've got to rephrase that. There's 1 or 2 in hotel quarantine, isn't in?
Yeah, because we're only allowing 400 people a week to fly back into our state, who are residents of this state. But they're coming from all over the world. But they don't fight and they don't complain.
But
our whole border's closed.
You have to look at the whole of Australia and get the map up and look at Victoria, see where that is, Melbourne. Look where Western Australia is.
Yeah,
Melbourne...
it's a 2-day drive.
Has a problem.
Non-stop.
Yeah, Melbourne has...
They had an outbreak in hotel quarantine because they hired piss-weak security companies who employed anyone and they didn't do their job. And very sadly, about 500 people have died in Victoria. And our whole death rate for Australia is 600. But We listened. When people said, oh, this thing could be dangerous, stay home for 5 or 6 weeks, which we did. We didn't see our family. We phoned and used the internet to see them and wave. And then we all walked out and had masks, and there were spots on the ground where everyone stood and did the right thing, social distancing. And in the end, after only about 7 weeks, there was no transmission.
I call her that on purpose, Nicole. My phone kept correcting Danny's name, so now I just call her Fanny now. Don't worry about it.
I'm still breaking. We can get you imported, Danny, for one very good reason. Medical staff or anyone to do with hospitals in general can be flown in and quarantined and then commence work. No problem. Of course, then
Yeah.
you'll have to put up with blue-eyed, 6'5" Australian bloke standard, you know. So that's just, you have to put up with that.
Oh, Mel did a big ride back. I have to watch when she comes back so I can give her stars.
Right. We will open up. Don't misunderstand. Are we being overcautious? No, not really. Again, I'll repeat, 150 days, no community transmission at all. Well, excuse me, while I slip into a coma. I reckon you last about 5 hours in Australia, and you go down to the UK embassy and say, I want to live here.
Danny, you know
I want to live here now.
You know where the Australian Sasquatch, ever how you say it is. I'm sitting next to him.
It's not the search, Danny. It's your unfortunate predictability when you find one. What you going to do when you catch one?
Yeah, I can say the word Yeti.
What's our Aussie version of that, JP? I was trying to think of that the other night.
Yeah, Yeti. That's what.
No, it's not Yeti. It's something else.
Yowie.
Yowie, that's right, Yowie.
It's basically the same character but different name.
John, I think you are probably only 4 to 6 weeks away from our borders opening to New South Wales. Even though New South Wales is having cases they're onto it straight away. They're doing a fantastic job in New South Wales. There's no question about that at all. When you think about the amount of people in New South Wales. A Yowie is, if you go into a shop and ask for a chocolate Yowie, you can buy one.
Yeah, the Yowie. Our mythical creature's called the Yowie, which is the Sasquatch, whoever how you say it. And then, I don't know, when they bought in the 70s or something, they brought out the Yowie chocolate.
You can even buy Bilby chocolate, which is one of our rare endangered marsupials. It is the Yowie, that's correct. I thought the funniest event in the US years ago now was that frozen Sasquatch in a fridge.
And
it took about 3 days to thaw, and scientists are saying, well, it looks very real. It was just a dummy. They do have a call, apparently. You can contact Yowie as long as you're wearing a tinfoil hat using 5G, and you can get their number straight away. No problem at all.
So, you're not affected by that bad weather, Danny?
No, that would have just given you a bit of rain and wind, I think, Danny. Not much else. Just clipped the eastern borders of the US. Hit a few parts of Texas, but not major. But I think they got away. They dodged a bullet, I think. I mean, even people look, we had a storm in Melbourne last night, and it killed 3 people. There was about 40 houses with trees crashed upon them. And that was just we get this time of year, from the end of winter into beginning of summer and vice versa, just like your system in the US. And sadly, one of the victims was a 5-year-old boy, which was very sad. Yeah, the problem with hurricanes and cyclones in Australia, the humidity is 100%. You don't get a choice.
Is there another footy match on or something? Or someone's having a party.
I don't know. Can I just have a little bit? Dog?
What?
Thank you. Hello, Patty. 40k people watching. I flicked on one channel. I don't know who it was, JP, but he was getting hundreds of dollars in donations just for telling people about the hurricane. So he was doing something right.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to see people in danger, but I've got to admit, if someone does broadcast it live, I've got to give them credit, and it is interesting watching, but you just hope and pray that they're safe while they're giving you the live broadcast.
We've had. I was outside Darwin in '74, just before Christmas, and I got into Darwin 2 weeks later with the army. I helped with the cleanup of Cyclone Tracy. I'm telling you, when you see something like that, it's just, you would swear a nuclear bomb has gone off. Just unbelievable. The reason I didn't make it to Darwin just before the cyclone, there was another cyclone in Broome and we got stuck for 6 days.
How did Skiwi ring the guy and wreck the stream? Well, obviously had his number, did he?
I think the best way to sum up a lot of channels on YouTube, and I hope it's not this one, I'm sure it's not this one. If someone said to me and knew nothing about the bottom of YouTube and said, how would you describe it? I'd say it's fucked up people watching fucked up people.
No, you can't say that.
Yeah, I did.
No, because I've watched it.
No, but I'm saying, I'm generalising, but it's, you have to think about
fun.
the idiots on the channel, and then you got to think, well, how come all these people keep going there? Then you realise it's just fucked up
Yeah,
people
but
watching
come
fucked
on,
up people.
sometimes it is just do something different and go and watch some weird channel. Sometimes it's funny.
I tried to watch Danny G's channel, but it's not allowed in Australia.
Yeah, Danny, what's
The
up
last
with
one.
that?
This video is restricted from your country. Why? Because Danny G hates Australians. That's just how it is.
And then something about can't play the music is not allowed in Australia.
Welcome back, Mel.
Oh, and there she is.
Patty, old people are just young people with wrinkles. Yeah, well, you got to think about people like that, JP, like, what's their reward? I've always said this, what's the reward for being a prick? It's a very shallow reward.
That's really like... I don't know why. See, that's not funny after a while. People keep doing that.
People are protesting in London for Unite for Freedom, to stop the mask, social distancing, lack of freedoms, and COVID vaccine. No mention of 5G in that sentence, Nicole. What about tinfoil hats? Nicole, I imagine if you asked your mother and she told you the stories that she was told by her parents about World War II and how they had to do things that they would not even think about, and definitely wearing masks was one of them, but hunkering down for 3 or 4 days in the bunker in your Anderson, hopefully not getting hit. When you put things like that in perspective, as in today's conditions, if you're not willing to follow the guidelines, look, this is my best example. If you're sick, you go to a doctor and you don't question the doctor. He says, take 2 of these 3 times a day. You should be right. If not, come back, see me next week. You go, okay. But when the chief health medical officers all around the world, and someone did a totalisation in the Western world alone, there's over 50,000. So they're not in collusion with each other. They're giving medical advice to the best of their knowledge to protect the citizens. That's it. Nothing else. And to give you an idea how things are effective, Victoria had a spike of over 700 cases a day. They locked down the whole state. Everyone stayed home. If you did go out, they wore a mask. and now they're getting on top of it. Probably the best example the rest of the world can see.
So, Danny, what was the problem then? So our countries blocked it. Why? What was in it that made our countries block it?
Could be music, I'm not sure. No, it's not our countries that block it, it's YouTube, based on the artist, Danny. Apparently.
Okay, certain song, right, yeah.
My grandmother at 70, I think she just missed out on the war thing. Shut up, Matt, tell me if I'm wrong. Well, if she was 70 and it's 20 now, that takes it back just to 50. So add another 3, she would have born in 1947, 2 years after the war ended.
See, my parents were young in World War II.
My grandfathers fought in World War One. I think people misunderstand. This is not a usual, normal event. I'll give you an idea. In our state, we've never worn masks. We stayed home, social distanced, and knocked it on the head.
Yeah, your grandma would still have interesting stories though, Nicole.
She would have heard stories from her parents, for sure.
Yeah.
I think the government of the UK and all the governments around the world have made mistakes. There's no question. It's not something they're used to dealing with. And probably the worst is the US, and not the people of the US. The lack of direction.
But you know what? Okay, government, I hate politics. But they try and do this, they say that, some government stuffed up, yeah, I get all that. But at the end of the day, people can have a bit of common sense and take their own responsibility as well. Like, we've had dickheads here. We had one, they haven't got it, that old guy, just the other...
Yeah, there was a guy, he was 73 or something, and he was a leader in Melbourne protesting about these restrictions and masks in general. And he said, well, on a mass gathering, and it was on a certain date about a week ago, the mass gathering online was going to be 10,000 people. There were 9 people that turned up. They were all arrested. Most spent a couple of nights in prison. All got fines over $2,000. One guy got $20,000 fine. And it's just crazy. The truth is, this is not going to last forever. And it's like a war. Wars don't last forever. So you have to realise you have to do things differently. Why are you going to shoot the cops? Hammers. I don't understand that. It shows the versatility and strength of people to go through, these diverse times. It's your character that shows during these times. Are you going to whinge and carry on like a pork chop? I don't like this, I don't want to do this. When in fact it's the best thing to do. Even if it's erring on the side of caution and maybe wasn't necessary, but erring on the side of caution may help.
Okay, it's good to write all right, Nicole, check in a sec. They're good to write those stories down, Patty. My mum told stories of during the war when...
I got her on video, actually.
Yeah, an American soldier gave her a banana. I think I've told the story before. And she didn't know how to eat it and tried to eat it with the skin and all. He had to show her how to peel it.
It's true. She's going to eat a banana with the skin on.
Jono, that's a good one.
It is what it is. Dun, 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 dun. The President, Mel. Ross has got the right idea.
Oh,
Stay
God.
drunk. It's got to be an antiseptic of some sort.
Jeez. Nicole, that's mad. Yep, there's a party. Someone didn't invite us. Hey guys, we're all going to a party up the road. Can you hear the music? You'll probably get flagged if your channel picks up that music.
I think that's it in a nutshell, Mel. You know, if this virus had landed on an asteroid and come from another planet, we'd all be excited on one aspect. There's life on other planets. But now it starts to infect us. We'd all buckle down.
Hey, Ross.
I don't think the temperature's got anything to do with it, Paddy, to be honest. Let's be honest, it's been summer in the US. And look at the figures.
Danny, and it wasn't a pic of food, I'd show it. I said to Nicole before she hadn't sent me any pics of food.
It's hot and sticky in India. Oh my goodness gracious me. Get that punkawalla pushing the pan faster, Johnny. Look, I've got to tell you something which I think would sum up a lot of the major cities and the people in it, Nikolaska. They're bored shitless. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, Nicole, that's just crazy. I showed seeds. You better send me a food picture so I can send it to Danny. Yeah, we're the same, Nicole.
Sales of marital aids exploded. Well, JP can only speak from his wife's experience, I guess.
Yeah, I'm the same, Mel. I'm the same.
As a young kid, I protested against the Vietnam War. I'll put my hand up.
But not deck pics. That's Seeds who shows pictures of his deck.
Yes, my deck is polished. Sometimes it's wet, sometimes it's dry, but it's good to walk on. George Carlin, if you remember George Carlin, he 20 years ago said if a major epidemic hit the planet and then it was, you know, going through a stage, he said people would just complain and carry on and be all dickheads. And he said, you know what, after it all ended, they'd find something else to bitch about.
Ooh. Look at that.
Yum. Korean style chicken wing. Yum, eh?
Danny, Fanny, are you looking at the camera? You got to tell me if she answers. I
Yeah.
can't see.
No, they can see it though. That's yum.
All right. The next one. That's a really good photo too, you know. You took that photo really well.
That's for her book.
And this is mac and cheese. Is that all right? Can you see that?
Lean forward a bit more. That's it. I think they can see that now. Breadcrumbs on top, of course. Get that crunchy bit going, Nikolaska. Well, the truth, Hannah's, is that it's not so much conspiracies people need to worry about. The fact is old money. We talk about capitalism. You can talk about the first part of that word, capital. Those with the capital make 4 to 5% profit every year. The working man just gets by. So as time goes on, old money rules the world. Usually people with a lot of money are pricks, evil, nasty, greedy. And you can throw any conspiracy you like, but that is the reason why the world is what it is.
Can you read that?
First photo of the Russian vaccine. What does it say? Emanov.
Vodka.
Oh, Smirnoff. I can't read that yet. Smirnoff vodka. Yeah, that'd probably work. I don't know if you've ever read certain books by certain authors. But there are some good ones in regards to why the world is the way it is.
Oh, it's so cute, Mel.
Sold. Yep. Nicola, let's cook. Did you cook this hot dog earlier?
Mel did.
Mel did. You see, she wrapped it in foil, ready to put on the spit. That's the noise of the dog turning around.
Are you seeing that, Danny? Of course, we need pics from Danny now.
Yes, we need puppy dog pics. Danny G. That's true, Hammers. One man can change the world, but every man can participate. Or do nothing. Yeah, but are they X-rated, JP? And is it just you in the shower again?
Okay, Mel.
A big week last week, JP. The Sydney Swans won a game. Brilliant.
Actually, it's just a picture of your dinner, Mel. That's all I'm showing.
Very nice. Look at that.
Fanny, can you
pulled
see
beef,
that?
baked potato, cream with parsley. Looks like corn relish. Yum. Oh, did they? That's good. We play the Saints, I think, next week. That's good. What's that on the meat? I didn't really see it.
Mel, I
looked
didn't
just
know.
like pulled beef to me.
Sorry, Mel, I didn't see that you went. I better give you your stars because you said you're back. I haven't caught up with the text. You told Nicole what that meat was. I think it's pulled pork, is it, Mel?
Chocolate sauce. What?
Yes, Charlie.
See, my eyes are bad. Chipotle. Okay, hot sauce.
Yes, JP, send me a photo and I'll share it. Make sure you're dressed. Yeah, that's the only thing sometimes I wish on here that you could...
Busy man, Ross. Busy man.
That-
Oh.
That you could show photos. But at least I can share some with you.
Smoked pulled pork.
Smoked pulled
It's getting
pork,
very
there you go.
close to barbecue weather now. Not just the every night type barbecue weather. Oh, yum. Curry houses are good.
Okay, I shall have a look.
This is bullshit.
Back a bit. Let's stop.
Oh, can you... oh, there.
What is it? This is bullshit.
Danny, did you get your niece to speak and say things like that?
Oh
Get-
my
get
God,
your
that
rosary
is
beads
so
out now.
Cute.
All right, Tony, have a good one, mate.
Alright, see you, Tony. I love that. Yeah, at least clean bits. True.
Heard a funny joke, and it's funny if you take it in context. It was from an American comedian, and he said, "What's the difference between Adolf Hitler and the current president?" The answer, Hitler had a plan. I thought that was funny.
So just send in your portfolio, Jono, and I can give it to the girls.
Yeah, Jono's got a 555 number. You can call him, but $9.55 a minute. You get some sexy talk like, "How you going, all right? How are you? Yeah, good." My daughter-in-law was excited doing all the seeds today. She, like many people, just throw seeds in the ground and hope they grow. But now we're getting a good. She had a good crop this winter crop, and now she's looking forward to a good summer crop. $1 from Tony Abbott. Johnny gets tired of me dressing him up. He wants to put Carlos writing his back. You know, you've got to laugh in life. One thing I've noticed, I'm sure most of you would see the same thing during this year, there's not many smiles on people's faces. And as hard as you may try sometimes, you cannot smile. But if you can make each other laugh, it's a good thing. All right, Nicholas, have a great day. Enjoy your lunch. Say good day to Milo for us. I think my mum had a pretty rough ending to her life over many years with cancer and whatnot, but she always had time to make you laugh. She would say things like, "I'll probably be dead in a few months, but still, this toothache's killing me." Just funny little stuff she used to say. Do I look like I give up? Really, yeah.
Oh, God,
Haven't
Danny.
heard much about Kevin lately, actually, Ross. Oh, she's getting on a bit, I imagine.
Danny, we need a photo of that.
Have a good day. Enjoy your day. Make sure you get to laugh at something.
See ya, Fanny.
One day you'll be on the shores of Australia, bouncing along the beach in slow motion with the lifeguard thing in front of you. We say, "Who's that? Is that
Hi.
Pamela Anderson?" "No, it's Danny G."
See ya, Mel.
Mel going too?
Yeah.
Hello, Carolyn. How are you?
So they're all leaving because Jono didn't send his photos.
Yeah, disappointment. The bitterness is coming out, you
Yeah.
can tell. I agree, Hammonds.
What? Oh, Nicole's have gone as well. Jeez.
I thought it was finished, JP. Is it another game, is it?
Well, yeah, I thought it was finished.
You might be talking about a different game. You said the Demons beat the Saints, but must be another one. They're cramming in these footy matches. JP sent an attachment. I can't open it at the moment because it came on the phone I'm using to broadcast. If you could send it to Mystic Angel, she can show the photo. I can't do it at the moment because I have to close down the Hangout otherwise.
Actually, you don't have to close that. It'll be on that one as well.
Didn't show up on this one at all. I can have a quick look.
Yeah.
No. Didn't.
I don't have his number.
No, he sent an attachment, a photo, to my phone, but it's on the phone that I'm broadcasting.
Oh, okay.
so I can't.
Damn.
It's not that I wouldn't share it. If I went to look at it, I'd end the broadcast and couldn't share it anyway. You don't have her number. Hello, Mystic and Angel.
She said hello to you before though.
No, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I hope lots of people. Jono, have you started your seed raising, or are you just going to buy seedlings? You've still got 4 weeks before you can plant seedlings in the ground where you are. But she'll be on. It's tomato, chili, pumpkin, watermelon season. Best time of the year. Yeah, it won't be long because you're still getting cold nights. That really sets off the broccoli. When the heads start forming, and you can keep getting those cold nights, they really set tight and they're yum. Just grow things you want to eat. You know what I mean, JP? Just like tomatoes, chilies. Yeah, well, our nights are not cold anymore. That's why we've done our seeds today. We're just about into spring. 25, 27 during the week.
It was too hard for me to do that pot today, so I said I wasn't going to.
Do it?
It was too hard for me to do that tomato pot today that I bought. I'll do it tomorrow
What was the home bit?
because I was tidying up and then
Okay.
babysitting.
The Newcastle Knights are running cold. Well, that's because they don't bounce the ball and kick it, Ross. Let's be honest. There's something missing in that game. I saw a lady who in the US had sliced tomatoes. Oh dear, Carolyn. Maybe she should have planted a tin of tomatoes. Might have had more success. The truth is, even a bad gardener eats well. Yeah, I think some things will fail and not turn out that good, but you'll still eat. Sydney Swans, number 5. Can't remember who that is. I remember Sydney Swans, number 4, watching him kick a goal to be the world record holder. 1999, Tony Lockett. Squeal, squeal.
Well, that's happened to us, Caroline, actually. We've spat or thrown tomatoes in the yard and they've grown. Remember where those tomatoes come
Yeah.
up through the crack of the
Concrete.
pavers? Yeah, concrete.
Well, you two, Ross and Jono, can commiserate each other. It's always next year. Don't worry about it. She'll be right. This year doesn't count, even though my team's doing rather well, even though they lost today, but that's regardless. It's not a real season. It's so procrastinated. People are playing under great duress in different states. So it's whoever wins it, wins it. I'll give you that. And it'll be known as they won the 2020 Premiership. But in my mind, it doesn't really count. A single strawberry. Celebrations, the street were told, and it was in the local newspaper. I'm really happy that the Swans are pushing the youth for sure. Since when did anyone start caring about some old decrepit M.U. Farquhars? Not sure. Which Ma Farquhars are you talking about? No one, if you're talking about people on the internet caring about each other, it's quite vague. It's pleasantries. You don't make friends until you associate and get to know each other properly. Doesn't mean you can't have internet friends. That's what we have here. But I could count my real friends on one hand. I'm pretty sure a lot of people that do watch these channels treat it like a reality show, like a bad reality show. And that's why they go there. But it offers nothing. See you at the graveyard, Grandma. The problem is, in every country, most developed countries have lost many people in nursing homes. Very sad. Me to seize on one hand. The saddest case in Australia, and I'm sure it's replicated thousands of times, was a lady who came back from New York just as the pandemic was hitting the US. Went through quarantine, went home and hugged her mum. Her mum passed away 3 days later due to the virus. And it was very sad on all levels. The one good thing coming out of this is the people's understanding of the reliance on China for individual countries and the pressure China tries to put on countries. And it's not working. It's not working in Australia at all. Literally everyone here and the government are saying, shove it up your ass. If we had to leave our minerals and wealth in the ground, that's okay, still there. We'll find new markets. Well, old people are going to die quicker than normal, there's no doubting that, Hammers. But the figures don't add up. In Victoria alone, in this very short period, of the 500 that have passed away, over 450 are people in nursing homes, and the normal death rate in a nursing home would have been about 12. So the numbers don't add up.
You're buffering.
I am. It's buffering time, which means we're near the end of the broadcast. I want you all to return to your shelters, buckle up, tinfoil hats,
You hold your phone.
and of course, tonight on the show we're giving away
I don't know if that worked.
free chemtrails for a month over your own home, unlimited 5G with an RFID chip inserted, all sorts of goodies, tonight's prizes.
That's a good. Play my game. Go make coffee and have a muffin.
Sounds like a good idea. I'll have the coffee without the muffin.
You don't want some chocolate chip muffin?
No. Yeah, they're big.
They're nice though.
Hammers, the truth about life is that you really can do whatever you like. Whether there's a law or instruction or an observation by a medical chief officer to tell you otherwise, you don't have to do it. Unfortunately, there are consequences in my country, like very large fines for not wearing a mask in Victoria at the moment. A lady came back to my state. She snuck in a truck, Hammers, on the border between South Australia and Western Australia, and she got back to Perth. Now, she was designated to fly in and then spend 2 weeks in quarantine. She decided that she was just coming back anyway. She's now spending 6 months in prison.
Because that was the third attempt of trying to evade
Quarantine.
So she put her car in the back of a truck. This truck driver had no idea what she was doing.
Well, and what was the response of West Australians when they heard the judge gave her 6 months? Hooray, beauty. And she's a West Australian. draconian, harsh. Martial law? No, no such thing. Nothing like that is happening here. We're all free to walk around, go to pubs, we can go to shows. There's 30,000 people at games watching footy. The casino's been open for ages. Everything's back to normal. But our borders are closed and you can't come in unless you're permitted. And then if you are permitted, you will go into quarantine. And I'm not kidding you. If you play out 1 iota, it's like you come to hotel rooms, I'm going out down the street, you'll get an ankle bracelet put on you. And as soon as it's detected outside the building, you will be arrested and go to prison. Is this forever? No. It's just for now, during the pandemic, that's all. If you can't suck it up, pay the price. Our state, on surveys done over many years, we travel around the world more than anyone in other parts of the country. But what are they doing now that we can't leave the country? Well, we're travelling around our own state. And the tourist operations are booming. Your governor deserved, no, he's highly praised for his actions of closing the borders. And there's surveys done all the time, West Australians, up to about 90% saying, yep, good idea. So he's only doing what we want him to do anyway.
Oh, I forgot Jono was still here.
See, we don't have any restrictions on freedoms here, Hammers, at all. Zero. We can go wherever we want to, whenever we want to. Big gatherings, 700 people, 10,000 people, 30,000 people, no problem. There is no community transmission, zero. Why? Because early on we all stayed home, did what we were told to do. No one went to school. Yep, buffering. Buffering is brought to you by Bufferer.
I'll go make a coffee. No one else will.
$1,130 per fortnight.
Wow.
Well, Australians get more than that. If you're on,
Well, he is.
there's
wow.
Newstart and there's JobKeeper. What's the other course? Not called
That's
Newstart.
where
What's
he
it called?
is.
No, I'm saying, but was
I don't know.
JobKeeper
Yeah, I don't
is
know.
the main one for people that can't work. They get paid. And Job Seeker, that's what it is. Job Seeker, you get paid. That's it, Ross. Yeah. The thing is, no one goes hungry in Australia. Yeah, we got people. Great reports from the Tourism Commission of Western Australia. Everywhere's full. You can't get a room in Broome at the moment.
Yeah, that's where the kids were. They're going. If they hadn't
They're going to
booked
Exmouth, aren't they?
if they hadn't have booked when they did, they wouldn't have got in.
Mm. Come on, Jono, you made that in 2 shifts. What are you talking about? We have a good safety net in Australia. Let's be honest. If you're not working, you get, what's the saying, $1,100 a fortnight. You can get by. You're probably not going to do any big Paris trips or things like that, but you'll get by. So, and there is no time limit on being unemployed in Australia. It can be 20 years if you like. There are whole families that never work.
And they hand it down.
Yes, son, I'm going to teach you something. Don't work. You see the swimming pool out the back and the 4 cars we have? It's not because I worked, it's because I didn't work. Now remember, working is a fool's game. Yep, there's no age in pushing back. There are reasons for doing that. Think about principles and morals and your perspective. It's always challenged by other people who have different opinions and different perspectives. As long as you stay true to what yours are, that's fine. But you should never impose your opinions and views to the extent that other people in your eyes are foolish, because that's not how it works. Everyone's entitled to be different. Different's good. I hate a world that was all the same.
Yeah, everybody has done that.
I think if you can find something in life that works for you, gives you joy, happiness, you know that word, happiness, then follow it, pursue it to whatever end you have to. Doesn't matter if you don't earn as much as you used to, and maybe things are a little bit dicey as far as finances, but if you follow your passions and your desires and things you want to do, you will be happy. You're going for a disability pension, Ross. I don't know how that works. I know that you have to reach criteria. Well, no one's lost their houses in Australia, and people have been given extra money. No, happiness is primary, Hammers. Think about it. Imagine if I gave you $10 million, Hammers, and you were still not happy. There's no point giving you the money in the first place. Rheumatoid. Yeah, nasty rheumatoid arthritis. That's where your own body attacks you. Unlike the other arthritis, which is just bits and pieces falling off because you're getting old, rheumatoid is very painful, and it's to do with your immune system. So you need to wear a mask, Ross, let's be honest. Sacrifice is primary. Hammers, are you hammered? Come on, you can tell me. Are you pissed? Sacrifice is primary. I'm going to throw myself at the president, and whether I live or die doesn't matter. No. Happiness is primary. Well, we don't wear masks in WA, but we don't have to. If someone said to me, if you don't wear a mask, I'm going to fine you $2,000, I'd wear a mask, because I'm not stupid. What would I sacrifice myself for? Well, my family. I'd stand in front of a bullet every time. Just drink wild turkey every night. Yes, but Joan of Arc burnt Hammers like a roast spit. A lot of crackling involved. Sacrificing self for a cause is good, as long as the cause is worthy and just, but not at the expense of an idealism.
I will never sacrifice my chocolate.
I am going to die for France because I am sacrificing myself. No, we're not. You're not sacrificing yourself. We're just going to burn you, all right? We've decided to burn you. You're not sacrificing yourself, Joan. Don't get uppity, but we're just going to burn you.
Why'd you use a French accent?
Because she was French.
How come in the movie I saw she never spoke French?
Yeah, it was an American actress. They don't do French very well. I know my family sacrificed many times Hammers because it's in the Doomsday Book, where many of my family were rounded up because they were fighting the French. And the French were very meticulous in writing down even executions. The bitch went down in history. Well, if that's what you want to sacrifice yourself for, Hammers, to be remembered, there's probably an easier way of doing it. You're going to take it down to the Latrobe. You're going to Victoria, JP. What's the going there? You'll have to learn to speak Victorian. You'll never survive.
Take it down to LA.
Yeah, but I said Latrobe, which is in Victoria. I remember you, Hammers. No matter what happens, Hammett Egerson will be remembered. Neil Young, that's right, yeah. some good old music. I like some modern music. Adele's very good. She's got a brilliant voice. But you notice there's no bands anymore as such, you know what I mean? Rolling Stones are still going. But you know what I mean? When we were younger, there were bands everywhere. There was far and few that were individual artists. But now it's totally opposite. I just think violence begets violence, Hammerson. I did read that article in regards to just an idiot 21-year-old shooting people. I think he thought it was a video game. That's how I see it. Just crazy. Just like, what's that game? You know the one I'm talking about, LA, whatever it's called, 4, 5, 6. And I think some kids play at that in real life, sadly. Fake news, wow. Even the real news can be a little bit fake, let's be honest. Depends which broadcast station you're listening to from. Fake news is usually a reply to something that you don't want to hear. Whether it's a half-truth, a smoking gun, or maybe it is true, you just don't want people to know it's true, so you use the words fake. Besides Trump talking about anything against Trump, yes. Look, I think Donald Trump runs his presidency like for ratings. I mean, he's the only person I've ever met that tells you how good he is. Here's the embodiment, Jono, of fig jam. Let's be honest. Fuck, I'm good. Just ask me. And in fact, you don't even have to ask me. I'll tell you. Well, one thing we don't have in this country is the right to bear arms. Although I've had plenty of weapons in my life and shot and hunted and eaten what I've caught. But that's a different story. We don't have the right to carry weapons, to have weapons in the home. We use that strange analogy where we work on either the good guy or the bad guy's got the guns. That's how it works here. And death by gun is very low in Australia. But I have to tell you, and I'm sure Hammers has observed this over many, many years, that I have not seen the US so divided on so many levels all at the same time. That's a true statement from me. I've never seen the US as divided on so many issues, and it's like watching the country disintegrate. And I mean that sincerely. It's very sad to watch. Good night, Johnny. Have a good sleep. I'm not a great believer in that by design. Like I said earlier, Hammers, the world is run and has been for hundreds of years by evil, greedy, rich, old money. And then, you remember George Carline's famous saying, Hammers, there's a big party going on and you and me are not invited. Because that's very true. Well, I used to work in a prison. There were pedophiles there, Ross. Most of them were poor. Believe me. It's like I had a great conversation with someone about a year ago, and he said something which really stands out to me. And I'll ask you, people, how many rich people do you associate with? And we're talking rich, not wealthy, but rich. My answer was none. Because there's a party going on and I'm not invited. Let's take Paul Keating. Well, you've got to be a little bit soft on Paul Ross. I mean, Australians now have a superannuation since 1991 due to Paul Keating that we didn't have before. There was none, zero, no savings. Paul Keating did that. Okay, then sees then why Joe Biden? I don't think it's Joe Biden hammers, it's an alternative. I reckon we have a saying in Australia when a Prime Minister is definitely going to lose. We say that a drover's dog could beat him, meaning it doesn't matter who the opposition is. This person in power is so bad, we say a drover's dog could win. It's true. It's not Joe Biden. Americans should think about just one thing, and that is America. That's what I mean. The country that I've known for all my life is disintegrating before my eyes. And that doesn't bode well for the rest of the planet. So, Joe Biden, could be anyone, wouldn't matter. An alternative is better than the fire you're in at the moment. But I'm not American. I don't get to vote. Whatever I say wouldn't persuade anyone. And that's okay. But I'm entitled to an opinion because I live on this planet. And I think I have never seen the country in the US so divided, so angry, so confused as they are right now. And I'm talking, you throw in civil rights movement after the Vietnam War, other disruptions in America. The whole country's burning, literally and figuratively. And it's so sad to see. Look, if there was two candidates for the coming election, one was Mr. Trump and one was Kermit the Frog, I would encourage you to endorse Kermit. Because anything's better than what's going on at the moment. But there is one good thing, fashion-wise, is that Mr. Trump, with his complexion, will be able to wear the same coloured jumpsuit in about 6 months' time. Along with a few of his friends that are already there. Again, how is it? It's irrelevant. How old's Joe? 77? 74 or something like that? Will he see 2 terms? Probably not. But it's a case of, again, I'll repeat what I think is that America should vote for America. And at the moment, if I asked most Americans, do you like what you see in America? Their answer would be no. Thank you very much. Ooh, big chocolate muffin. Better show the people what you got there.
Yeah, it's from Owen.
It's bloody enormous. She's about to show you her muffin, gentlemen. Check that out. Do you want one of them? It's about 4 inches across. Yeah, there's another alternative there, Hammers. Vote for the current incumbent president or the chocolate muffin. You decide.
go and have this in my coffee. Thank you much, everyone.
It could be sitcom 2020. Won't be long. I believe that things will unfold, and America. I don't want America to be great, ever. I just want it to be good. Australia's good. I don't think I've ever heard Australian ever say we've got the greatest country in the world.
Yes, we have.
No, we asked where we prefer to live, we'd say here. We don't go around boasting and saying we're the best and we're great, because we'd smack each other down. I'd have to slap you, Ross, if we had a barbecue, you kept saying, Australia's the greatest. Shut up, Ross. It's a good country. We're keeping it a secret. You keep telling them it's full of crocs, Ross, and snakes, spiders, sharks. Keep telling them that. And we won't have them all come here. But the days are changing here. Beautiful, beautiful days. 26, 27, getting down to about 12 at night, which is still cool. But it'll be hot again shortly. Well, here's a good third-party tangent question, Hammers. Who do you think the Chinese premier and the Russian president would want to be president? Who do you think they want to be president? You got to think about that. Well, we've been all over the planet, and I can tell you that I always look forward to coming home. I do. Yeah, probably Putin, Ross. That's probably a good answer. If you wanted to have an adversary that was weaker and running a country in chaos, you're the leader of Russia or China. We know who they want to win. I think what you're saying there is Putin leads. It's very hardball, but he leads. If your country's not led, it's in disarray. If your country doesn't have direction, people make up their own directions, and then you're left up with only chaos and confusion. There was a policy by Nixon at one stage with Spiro Agnew, if you remember this going back that far, that they worked on chaos theory for a little while. It sort of worked, but not for long.
Want a bite?
No, I'm good. It's a huge muffin. But I think we'll close it down about now, because I know I'm going to get the spinning wheel of death again.
Yeah, it is.
Trump has a hairpiece. Oh, I don't know. But he certainly looks a little bit strange. I've never met orange people in my life, and that's not putting him down. It's not like saying he's a transsexual or anything like that. He's just orange. Not sure where they come from on the planet. I've been around the planet a lot and haven't met any orange-skinned people. Maybe he's an alien. There's food for thought. On the idea of food, as we're leaving, that's the remnants of the chocolate chip muffin that's been devoured. from me, I hope you have a great day. Enjoy it. Have a drink for me if you're in the bar, Hammers. Put one on the side for seeds. Knock 'em back yourself. And good night to you, Ross. Have no fear, Fig Leaf. Hello, Fig Leaf. How are you? We all know who this is, of course.
Yeah,
But it's been a long time no see. I shall drink. Actually, we get real maple Canadian syrup, don't we?
Yeah, we bought some the other day.
Yeah, in glass bottles from Canada. And it's reasonably cheap now. It didn't used to be, but was pretty cheap. $6, I think, for about 400 ml or something like that, wasn't it? A little round handle thing on the top of the glass thing. We're good, but we're just about to go. I'm sorry, Fig Leaf. It's good to see you. But we have to go to bed and make wild, passionate sleep. Anyway, have a great day, wherever you are, or go to bed. Ross, it's getting late for you, mate. No lives matter. Whatever your life matters, let's be honest. Anyway, till next time, good night. Good to see you, Fig Leaf.